Shalom, 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 shalom. Ya barakakum, Yahweh Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Karat Zayabun Yashal. And this is the album that we're listening to today. We do not own the rights to any of the music or any of the videos. So YouTube, please don't rip on us. We are just trying to share information. This is for educational purposes only. So let's out there. So what you're looking at right here is called Astronomer's Library. Okay. Astronomer's Library is just a beautiful visual that I like to share while we're talking. All right. And the reason being is because sometimes we just need something nice to look. All right. So, I think that I like to think that I'm an artistic person. So I like to think I'm an artistic person. So I want to share this just so you all can have something to look at while we're going over what we're going to be going over. All right. So salute to everybody. All right. And if you're watching, please share this out. Okay. Now, here's the link. If you like the Nagayana, if you like the music, put a 7 in the room for me. Salute to you. I see you watching on YouTube. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Put a 7 in the room if the volume is okay. All right. If you can hear me fine, if you can hear the Nagayana, the music. If you can hear the music, put a 7 in the room. Okay. All right. And I'm going to make a phone call to one of our brothers, see if we can get one of our ministers on. Again, put a 7 in the room, and let me make sure I can see that. Okay. Okay. And I appreciate you. Shalom. Call me Asherallah. All right. All praise. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. So we're going to get started with a few things. But first, I'm going to give family time to climb on in here. All right. I'm going to climb on in here. So when we do get started on our actual, I'm going to get that brother another call. When we get started on our actual class, you're going to see this background. All right, but for right now, all right, no background up. Shalom, Kwame Yasharala, Yabra Kwame Yabashem Yashai. I pray all is well, and I also pray that everybody is, ready to look at this together. I want to look at this together because I just think it's fun. It's not only fun, it's a great topic that we all need to really look at. And what is that topic? It's understanding new moon. It's understanding, is the earth flat? Is the earth round? That's a fun subject for me because it does stir up a lot of questions. If you can hear me okay, put a 7 in the room, okay? Put a 7 in the room, and I will make sure that the audio is kosher. Now, if you like this, what we're listening to, his name is Kevin Yazzie. Kevin Yazzie starts off this song. This is called Ways of Life. And Kevin Yazzie starts it off by calling out Yahweh. All right, so I just stopped it for a moment just so everybody can hear me. So Kevin Yazzie starts it out by calling out to Yahweh. And I just think it's beautiful. All right. So I know a lot of Yasha Alim say Ya'o. A lot of Yasha Alim say Yahweh. A lot of Yasha Alim say Yahuwah. All right. And for those Yasha Alim, those Hebrews who do, salute to all of you. Salute to all of you. All right. Bahashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Mashiach Yahshua. Bahashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Yehoshua. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, let's go through them, man. You know what I'm saying? If you have to say in Jesus' name, I'm rocking with you. All right. And the reason being is because we all are learning together. Okay. So I'm going to share a few things, and I do want to get a few friends and family members to come in here. So if y'all can share out, because I am going to be doing some reading, and the reading is for you. It's stuff that I already know, but it's stuff I'm also trying to share. It is basic Hebrew 101. And we're going to be starting with Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22, which tells us that it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. And that's very important. All right. So we're going to start with that. There are a few brews that I really wanted to reach out to and see if I can get them started and involved in this. And I'm just going to send a message out to them. And while I do that, while I send a message out to these brothers, I'm going to turn off my camera. I'm going to put it on what's called the Astronomer's Library. And again, we don't own any of these videos, any of these audios, I don't know how to say it anymore. We ain't trying to copyright, plagiarize nobody. We just sincerely using these for educational purposes only. Okay. So, education, spiritual, whatever. So maybe I was looking at that. I should have got the PPP loan. Now that I think about it, I know this is total random, but I should have got the PPP loan. And in the process of doing that, used it for the ministry. Like, oh man, man, I don't know, man. I think I'm about to do an SBA or something like that, man. Small business loans, something like that, because if the government's giving away bread and we can use this bread, saying for the gospel, why not? Why not? You know. So so yeah, okay, I appreciate you. All right, throw out for your comments. All right, so we're gonna do this real quick. I am going to get back to playing Kevin Yazzie. I want to play this from the beginning, and in the process of playing this from the beginning, what I want to do is I want you to be able to share. All right, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. We are going to be going over, like what I said, basic astronomy, Hebrew 101. I already have my books lined up. We already have everything, the tabs lined up, so you'll be able to see what I'm seeing. And let's see. Um, hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Restream teaching me how to see y'all's comments. That's pretty cool. All right. So let's start off with Kevin Yazzie again. Matter of fact, that's gonna be our music, but gotta do my favorite. Gotta do my favorite. Hey, if you brothers would like to join me, we are live right now. Okay. So we're gonna look at the subjects we was talking about. There's no slandering. I'm not bickering, ridiculing, nothing, just talking. And you together. That's fire. I like that. All over the land right now. Truth and unity. One family together forever. All right, so let's get it real quick. That's absolutely one of my favorite songs. I don't apologize at all whatsoever. I don't apologize. That is absolutely one of my favorite songs, man. It's another one, and it's beautiful like that too. All right, but let's go ahead and get it started. All right, so we're gonna listen to Kevin Yazzie while we studying. All right, and for those of you that's watching now, I appreciate you, and for those of you that's gonna be watching later, I appreciate you. All right, so let's get back to it. So what we want to do is we want to look at what's called the Astronomer's Library. Okay, so this over here, just a little background thing. All right, but while we do that, I'm gonna pull up a few things, and we're gonna have to get into the subject of the OASP, and I hate it, but we're gonna have to because there's so much falsehood that's in that. You know, it's a whole book of falsehood. You know what I'm saying? But when we're looking at the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, when we're looking at how he told us to keep his ordinances, we're going to find those things Bahathawara in the Torah. All right. So let's do this real quick. All right. We're going to do our window setting. All right. We're going to switch it to this. All right. But I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because okay, I think that's a good volume. Yeah, Kevin Yazzie, he can really go in. All right. But that is him. That's his ministry, man. Beautiful. All right, so let's get started with this real quick. So here's a few things. Let's start with flat Earth. All right. So if we start with this, all right, we're gonna have this image. Okay. Now, this is what we're gonna be focusing on right now. We're gonna be focusing on, let's say, this shape right here. All right. You have some people that believe in the flat earth. You have some people that believe in the dome shaped earth. You have some people that believe in the spherical earth, which I'm a believer of the earth being a sphere shape. Okay. I'm a believer that the earth is a sphere. And the reason being why I believe the earth is a sphere is because according to the Bible, what we see is that there's this word that's right there, and that word is sphere. So let's look at it real quick. And this is for our people's edification, FOPE. This is for our children's edification. So our children aren't deceived. This is for my children, my mashpachas edification. So in the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 22, it says, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in." Now, because of the way this is worded, a lot of people will take this and believe that the earth is a shape that we're currently looking at, all right, which is this shape right here. All right, so it's flat with the dome going over it, right? So let me see if I can I want to see if I can maximize or expand this picture. So a lot of people, because of this verse, believe that this is what the earth is shaped like. Okay, so let's read this verse again. And I want you all to tell me. Now, I don't want to tell you all what to think. For those of you that are watching right now, please share this out. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Baba Kwasha, please. It really helps out the channel. It helps me out. I'm not even monetized. I just literally do this for the love of being sincere, honest, and teaching. All right. A lot of times we're not heard, or people will love to just murder your spirit. So you have to continue, you have to endure, because that's what we do. That's what you do. So that's what my older brother told me, and it sucks because it's what we do, but it's a real thing. So so if you're watching, like, share, subscribe. I love teaching because I love learning. What's the point of having treasures and your treasures are buried? I think wisdom is just fun. So because of what we've read, a lot of people have this perception that the earth is that shape. It's a flat surface with a sphere. Now, if you can hear me okay, if the sound is good, put a 7 in the room, all right? Yahweh Shema Latah, Khan, all praise, Khan, hallelujah, shalom, Yahweh Shema Latah. Put a 7 in the room if you can hear me okay, all right? If you can't hear me good, put a 3 in the room, all right? And Baba Kushai, share this out to the Yasharim community because it's very important, and I need to be able to find this video again when it's time for me to speak on it, all right? So, Shalom Lakah, Shalom Yashar, Shalom Jeremiah. I'm glad you all are here because you're going to learn, okay? All right. So with that being said, we're going to open up some visuals, okay? But I got to be careful with the visuals because we don't want to have any copyright issues. So for right now, we're going to use this, all right? And again, put a 7 in the room. If you can hear me fine, put a 3 in the room. If you need me, turn the volume down. All right. So let's get back to the Bible, all right? So according to the Bible, it says, it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, right? And let me maximize this. Let me change the size so we can have a little better visual. All right. Let's do this. All right. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of what? Of the earth. Okay. Can y'all see that well? All right. Let me see if I scoot it over like that. All right. Right. So it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, right? The inhabitants and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens of as a curtain and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. All right. So everybody keep that verse in mind because that's where we're starting at. Now, even though that's where we're starting at, I want you all to also keep this visual in mind because this visual will make people think that this is what the earth is shaped like. But when you read the Bible, it actually does say something different. Khan, throughout for that. Hallelujah, all praise. So it actually does say something different. Okay. Now I could be a person who is a diehard believer that the earth is a sphere, but that doesn't help you to believe. Okay. Now what'll help you to believe is if you know for yourself. Okay. So watch this, Yaladia, watch this, children. So let's go back to the verse. And what we're going to do is we're going to open it up in our language. Okay. So we're going to open up the interlinear and we're going to go to, all right, here's our language. Right now, it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. Now, watch this. First, we're going to look at the word earth. All right. So see it is aratza, aratza. Okay. So ha'aratza or aratz means the earth. So let's see what it says. Check this out. Land, earth, country, ground, world, way, common, field, nations, wilderness, right? Look, land, earth, the whole earth and its operations and as opposed to a part. Earth as opposed to heaven, earth, inhabitants, land, country, territory, district, region, tribal territory, piece of ground, land of Canaan, Israel, inhabitants. Can't make this stuff up. Israel, inhabitants, let me see, Sheol, land without return, underworld, city, ground, surface of the earth, ground, soil. I don't see anything that's, that's outside from what we understand to be the world. So as we right now streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook, with visuals, we're showing that the word world is ha'aratzah, and that the word world does have a shape. Now, if you're calling, if you don't mind, it would be a blessing if you can do anything you can to help get this ministry out. If you're watching, then it'll be a blessing if you can do anything you can to get this ministry out. All right. Man, this would be a great time to get started on the conference call number 2, but let's just look at it. So here we are, the word aratza. All right. Now, what would be more helpful is if you're watching, subscribe to my YouTube, hit the likes and the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and the share and all that stuff, because it really does help. You know what I'm saying? As y'all know, I'm not monetized. We do this for free. And the scripture says the workman is worthy of his hire. All right. Now, if you think that I'm a minister that's worthy of being recompensed, glory to the Most High, all praise the Most High, then help out. And just help out by giving recognition. And Yahweh will give the favor. Just you give recognition. hit the like, subscribe, to share all that stuff, because we actually do share out really good information. I just don't have all the whistles and bells and fancy animation that other people have, but the information is here. The information is prevalent. All right. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I think I just flicked the booger. I'm not sure, but if you watch the video, I may have just flicked the booger. It's okay. But here's the word. Let's get back to it for world, right? All right. It is he that sitteth the earth. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. Now, we haven't even looked at circle yet. Now, remember, there are people who wanted to visually see this. There are people who have pressed to visually see this. So if you are here to learn, please share and watch so you can know for yourself. Okay. Ra, and that's the character tza, aratz, aratz. You'll see it in English, Hebrew, pronounced as eretz, eretz. Well, that's the word for world or earth. So aratz, it says Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, Isaiah chapter 9, verse 18, especially when the land is put for its inhabitants, Isaiah chapter 26, verse 18, 66, verse 8. All right, with suffix aratzaya, all right, local. And look, here's the word right here, earth, all right? So it could be for local with ha. If you put ha at the beginning, aratza, it means locally. Like I live in Ha'aratza, Cincinnati, all right, in the local land of Cincinnati, all right? Behold, Cincinnati, here, Cincinnati, okay? So Ha'aratza, all right? So the basic sense is, as you all can see, the word world. If you understood that, put a 7 in the room. All right. And here's the other thing. Don't just watch me. Do it with me. So let's get back to this real quick. Let's go back up to our handy dandy Hebrew. Okay. Now we're going to take our window back one page. All right. Put a 7 in the room if you're listening. And if the Nagayana, if the music is at a good level, put a 7 in the room. Put a 3 in the room if you need me to turn it down. I'll turn it down. Put a 3 in the room if it's distracting. All right. Put a 7 in the room if it's fine. Now, remember, we're in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. The earth is not flat. The earth is a sphere. Okay. The earth is not flat. The earth is a sphere. This image that you see of a half of a hemisphere is only half of a sphere, which is why it's called a hemisphere. Hemisphere etymology. Hemisphere. Now let's not read the first. Sometimes I read the AI thing. Sometimes I read the AI. Sometimes I go directly to the source. But one of my favorite pages is etymology, right? Online etymology. And salute to Dr. Lafayette Scales from Rhema Christian Center in Columbus, Ohio, who actually taught me this website. All right. Very excellent minister, excellent minister. He would be up in church and be like, now we ain't gonna teach Christmas in here, because we know Jesus wasn't born. And so he did a good job at teaching, and at the time when the Most High woke me up, I was just on fire. I was just like, Jesus ain't white, ain't white. I was fire. So anywho, but salute to the elder. All right, so look at the word hemisphere and hemisphere, in reference to look at this word. I want you to look at this, everybody. You can do the same thing with the Oaspi book. The Oaspi is not a biblical book. It is not. It is a trash doo-doo poo-poo caca book. The Oaspi is not a book that's going to teach you the Bible and what Yahweh really said. It is a book of witchcraft and deception. All you have to do is take everywhere. And as my elders told me, salute to my Zaquan, Zaquan Padazaz, Zaquan Nathan Yalla. I do want to say to these elders, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I seen a fault that I had, what I'm saying? But I also want to give, there's no but to it. I also want to give honor to the Zaquanium, because these are the elders that we grew up under. Zaquan Padazaz, just like my first teacher, my Amma, my mother, and my Abba, taught me to look up what I'm looking at, research what I'm researching. So if you take, this was Zaquan Padazaz's words, 90% of our biblical doctrinal issues can be resolved if we just look up the word in Hebrew, if we read it in our language. And then when you get to that point, you got divisive Israelites. It's like, well, that ain't the real Hebrew. That's actually this language, this one. It's like, hold on, homie. Let's just read it in the language it's written in. And the majority of our problems can and will be solved. So watch this. The word hemisphere, it says, in reference to the celestial sphere. Now, does everybody see that? Watch this. What do you think celestial sphere is going to look like if we just do a basic search Google image? What do you think celestial sphere is going to look like? Let's look at it. This is what the celestial spheres would be considered as. A celestial sphere is the sun. It's a sphere and it's in the celestials. The moon would be a celestial sphere. Give me another example of a celestial sphere. What are other examples? Are stars celestial spheres? What about a pentagram or a hexagram? What about a 5 point? Is this a sphere? So if somebody has one of these on, is this considered a star? No, this is not a star. If somebody has one of these on, is this considered a star? No, this is not a star. The point of saying such is to say, at the age of 2 years old, children learn basic shapes. And when you have adults that are lying because they've watched too many TikTok videos, YouTube videos, Instagram videos, all these other videos, but they stopped reading. My ama, mommy, my ama, mama, 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 mama. My ama, she told me that readers are leaders. You can't lie to me if I can read. You can lie, but I can read what you're saying. I know what you said. I know what this says. And then we can break down the different parts of a sphere. So with that being said, let's look at a few things that have to do with the reference of a sphere, okay? So if you look at the planets, Jupiter, now I'm not Jupiter, and two taken away from planets, you're going off. Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Uranus, Saturn, Mercury, Earth, Sun, Moon. These are all celestial spheres, all right? I hope everybody understands that. Now, the Earth is not flat. Let's talk about this again. Is this the celestial sphere? You answer. Put a 7 in the room if this is a celestial sphere. Put a 3 in the room if it's not a celestial sphere. And I'm here to tell you right now, basic Hebrew astronomy 101, baby. This is not a celestial sphere. This is a celestial hemisphere. Now, I'm so sorry for saying it like that. I don't know why I can't. I was like, hemisphere. This is a celestial hemisphere. It's not a celestial sphere. Now, remember, we're bringing this from the scriptures, okay? We're doing Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. Here it is, Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. And here it is in Ibadiath, which we call Lashawan Kodash, the holy language. It is he that sitteth on the circle of the earth. Now, we haven't even went to the word circle yet, so you haven't missed anything. Our whole study has started with the word aratzah, ha'aratzah, the earth. So that's where our study started. And our study took us to what? Hemisphere. Now we're looking at, let's see. We're going to go to aratzah one more time. Now, if you can see this, if this is making sense, put a 7 in the room. If I'm not making sense, listen, I'm a bug out outcast. I am over here on the Isle of Patmos. And I just want to tell you Israelites that's over there in the beautiful Yasharala community, that's still over there, that's a part of things. I want to tell y'all that your elders are leaving out information. The earth is not flat. If you don't know the shape of the earth, how could you possibly be able to tell when new moon is? How could you possibly be able to keep the constellations and the seasons, the calculations of the seasons? You can't. So let an exile tell you. Baba Kusha, just hear me out. Don't pay attention to what I say. Excuse me. Don't pay attention to how I say it, but whether or not if what I'm saying is true. Now, we're over here on the word aratzah, right? I hope everybody can see this. We're going to scroll down. And the word aratzah means earth, right? Now we're going to scroll down some more. And when you use this page, this website, I want you to be able to know how to do this for yourself, because every teacher should want their students to be better teachers. The word aratzah, this is called Jacinius Hebrew Chaldean Lexicon. Why is it called that? Don't just tell me something. Tell me why it is. That's how you learn. Jacinius was a man. He was a person. He was very intelligent. He wrote down as much as he knew, all the Lashawan Kodash, the Hebrew words with the definitions, and in Arabic. So he was a genius, and he was a apocryphon. He was also an apocryphon who loves apocryphile. He was apocryphile. He loved the apocryphal books. So he loved languages, etc. The point is, his contemporaries, his friends around that same time, because your friends at school are your contemporaries. The people who live in your household are your contemporaries. They live at the same time frame. They work with you, have the same thoughts, right? His contemporaries that were around him were also geniuses, such as Ali Isadar. Isadar. Bar Ali. Isabar Ali. Isabar Ali was an Arabic man who loved breaking down languages too. Now watch this. Let's see what he says about the earth. So this very smart man who did a Hebrew and Chaldean lexicon, breakdown of languages, words, right? The word aratzah, right? Look, here's the scriptures is mentioned in. We read this earlier. I don't want to take everybody back too far. The word right here, it says the earth. If we hit right here, it says full entry. It'll break down even more of the word of what you want to find out, right? So here it is, the Assyrian, all right, aratzah, and then here's how you say it in Arabic. My Arabic isn't on point yet, so let me not do that. The Arabic form nearly resembled the Sansar, and then it's Dahara. Dahara. Wow, Dahara. All right, it says whence Terra, Goth, Arita, it says earth. All right. The later passes over into Greek by casting away the D as in the vulgar. I don't know what that means yet. To also answer, and I don't know how to read that yet. Okay. Now, this last, I don't know how to read that. You know, there's no point in me lying. I just don't know how to pronounce this yet. Okay. So give me some grace. Now look at this next part, because I'm still actually reading for you. So it says, especially what? The earth. Now, after you see the word earth, what's the next word you see after this? This book is older than TikTok. It's older than Instagram. It's older than the OASI. The next word is orbis. If we do a search for orbis, what do you think the word orbis is going to bring up? Here, I'll do it with you. I don't want to hide anything, right? Orbis. Oops, I have big fingers. I apologize. All right. Orbis. And then we're going to put up, because this is just how I like to study, orbis etymology. And we're going to go to my favorite website. All right. Online etymology. Orb, sphere, globe, something spherical or circular. Stop. Somebody right there just lost their mind, and they said in their head, it's a circle. Let me help you out, because at the age of 2, basic applied mathematics. See, like me, numbers go backwards in my head, which puts me at a disadvantage. And I tried to explain to my teachers, everybody, and I'm sitting there and I'm doing the numbers, but the numbers jumble up. And it's been like that since I was a child. But then I found out that I'm not that bad at what's called applied mathematics, which means I can see the angles. And I like, that's a sphere, that's a circle, that's 3-dimensional, that's 2-dimensional. That's basic 2-year-old stuff. Babies know the difference between a disc, a plate, a saucer, a ball, a sphere. Babies know the difference. Why are adults lying? If the Bible says he sitteth upon the circle of a sphere, will you believe it? Or will you say, I'm adding to, I'm taking away from? Oh, yeah. Will you be honest? And will you teach your children? See, this is a big deal to me. Let's look at this real quick. We're right here. We have the word order, and I want you all to invite everybody that you can, because I've had Israelites cuss me out. Dang, how much more exile can I get? I've had Yashariam cuss me out because I say that the earth is a sphere. But let's read together, everybody. So I hope that you all can see my screen. If you have any issues, just let me know. I'll try to correct anything. Let me take this off. And also, I'm going to bring up the major screen. All right. And let's see if we can put this up better than I. All right. As I look at the screen, I just noticed that as I look at the screen, I just noticed that you all can't see all of my words. So I apologize about that. So luckily I Baba Kushab. But the more I try to fix it, the more it seems like it gets funny acting. About if I just push reset. All right. All right, that's gonna have to be good enough right now because I don't want it to take up too much time. I'm gonna read to you all what I see, and while I'm reading to you what I see, then you'll be able to, you know, what I'm saying, you'll still be able to hear and understand, and also the links are up here, so you'll be able to, research what you're researching. All right, study what you're seeing. All right. So let's do this real quick. All right. So orb, right? Now this is the word orbis that we got from the word earth. What is the word earth in Hebrew? The word earth in our language is aratzah, right? Aratzah. Now look at this. Here we are. The earth, orbis, orb, tararum, tararum. All right. Okay. I don't know what that is yet. Okay. To heaven. Okay. Heaven and earth. Okay. Now let's look at the word orbis right here specifically. All right. So we went to our online etymology. The word online etymology website, beautiful. The word orb is sphere, globe, something spherical, circular orbit of a heavenly body. What is the same phrase for heavenly body? Celestial sphere, right? Old French, orbe, orb, globe, right? And directly from Latin orbin. All right, nominative orbis, circle, disc, ring, loop, orbit, probably related to orbita, which wheel, track, runt. The word, a word of unknown and much disputed origin. Watkins suggested connecting with the roots of orchid. Divine suggests horby, which is a turning thing. All right, so let's look at a few things real quick. All right, let's go to this page and we're going to share this instead. All right, watch this. What is the difference between a circle and a sphere in math? No. Wait. You know what? That's a really good question. So let's answer this question. But the Most High gave me a different question. So I don't want to read AI first answer. All right. Don't want to do that. What do you want? What anybody want to do? What you want to choose? Anybody see a website that they like? All right, let's try. I like to try academic. All right, I like academic websites. So I haven't really asked this question like this. All right, seven fundamentals describe difference between Seven fundamentals describe difference between a circular object and a sphere in numerous ways. The sphere the sphere and circle differ. Oh, excuse me, the sphere and circle differ even though they are circular objects. The following article illustrates the difference along with the definitions and definitions of circle and sphere. According to the definition of a circle and sphere, they are both circular. However, while circles are figures and spheres can be described as an object, it is possible to compare the two with the sketch of a tennis ball on paper and then a ball itself in reality. Done. So everybody knows this. A frisbee is a circle. And then somebody in their brilliant mind will say, well, what if you turn it up like this? Well, now it's just a disc. It's still a circle. It's a disc. It's a disc, but it's not a sphere. And we're dealing with the Bible. Well, at least over here on the Isle of Patmos, we're dealing with the Bible. I don't know what you Hebrews over there are dealing with. I see Yasharal. I'll be like, dang, they eating pork now? Dang, they don't wear fringes no more? Dang, Israelites and man, they read the Olaspi now? Man, I praise the Most High for kicking me all the way over here on the Isle of Patmos, far away from y'all. It kind of sucks. But at the same time, it's like, hey, wow. At least I can try to blow the trumpet all the way from over here. See, if you don't know the shape of the earth, the shape of the moon, and the shape of the sun, if you don't know the celestial spheres, if you don't know how they line up, it is impossible for you to be able to tell me when new moon is. I mean, it's impossible for you to tell your congregation. You can't tell nobody when new moon is because you're going to say it's full moon or you're going to say it's waxing crescent. You might even say it's only fourth quarter. we're gonna do bad about it, but I'm gonna read the AI. A circle is the two-dimensional shape, meaning it lies on a flat plane. All right, here, let me, while we're reading this, let me put this image up. All right, so you all can see. All right, now I'm gonna read the same excerpt. All right, a circle is a two-dimensional shape, meaning it lies on a flat plane, while a sphere is a three-dimensional object, meaning it occupies space in all directions, especially a sphere. Excuse me, I got too excited. Essentially, not especially, I got too excited. Essentially, a sphere is a 3D equivalent of a circle with all points of its surface being equidistant from its center point. Now, let's just do one more thing, because all basic two-year-olds know the difference between a sphere and a circle. Why is Yasha Aliam lying? Why are these Aquanium? What's up, man? Don't nobody say nothing no more. They like, yeah, you know, yo, man, all praise, man. I'm grateful I had the opportunity to grow up with Mazaquanium, to sleep on the floor with Mazaquanium, to go travel the world with Mazaquanium, to actually pray, cry, go through miscarriages. You know, I'm so grateful that I did not grow up in a fatherless and motherless child, man. So salute to the elders that was before us, and you old Zaquanium that's here right now. Y'all need to come out the corners. All right, I know there's a whole bunch of talk about a young generation and young lions and all such stuff, but we need you, Zaquanium, to step back up, man, because y'all know so much. Zaquan Karash, fire, Zaquan Karash, man, he is a beast, and they're still alive. So, man, point is saying such, a lot of these young Zaquanium just suck. They whack. Like, they ain't teaching nothing, but it's easy for me. I'm over here on the Isle of Patmos. I ain't got to worry about that. So here's some images, and I'm hoping that you all should have seen this by now, okay? Now, if you're looking at the Pythagorean theorem, all right? So, but that's not what we're talking about. We're looking at this over here. We're looking at the difference between a sphere and a circle, okay? Here, let's see if the image is up. I want to make sure y'all can see this. All right. Does everybody see that? It's basic. Now, I'm not going to harp on this too much, but this is the shape of a plate on this side. This is the shape of a sphere. This is the shape of a circle. This is the shape of a sphere. Now, don't let me try to sorcerize you, as we say in Hebrew. I'm not the one that's going to try to teach you out the OASP. That's not me. Okay? We're sticking with the Bible. All right? So while we're sticking with the Bible, let's go back to it. I want to go back to what we was looking at. Now, remember, everybody, we was looking at the word aratza, the word earth. We didn't even look at the word sphere. We didn't even look at the word circle yet. But let's look at it now. It is he that sitteth upon the what? The circle of the earth, right? Everybody got that? Now we're going to pull up our handy dandy Hebrew. We're going to read in our language again. So we looked up aratza. We looked up earth. Now let's look up the word circle, okay? All right, I hope everybody can see this. Okay, you should be able to. And since you're watching, help me out. Like, subscribe, share, just do the stuff you know you're supposed to do, all right? Help get the videos out. I've been doing my push-ups, okay? I was doing my core, all right? I've been working out and all that good stuff. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I got my support. I got my books. This stuff isn't freestyle. I mean, some of it's freestyle, but it's studied. It's studied so you could get it later. We have more. I have a row of tabs pulled up just for you because I love you so much. And it's so cold over here on the Isle of Patmos. I just want to send like a and hope somebody see it. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the aratza, right? Can everybody see this? If you can see this, if this is making sense, put a 7 in the room. If I'm adding to, if I'm taking away, if I'm making up stuff, put a 3 in the room and then address me on it. All right, call me. Right. So let's look up the word circle real quick. Upon the circle, boom. Now the Hebrew word for circle and I pray and hope everybody can see this just fine. All right. The Hebrew word for circle is cha wa ga. Now up here it says hug, and I know somebody's gonna see that and be like, it say hug. It's not hug, it's chawag. Now we're gonna learn, since we see what arataza is. Arataza is earth. It's the circular sphere. It's the celestial sphere, as the Bible says. Your elder is wrong, and that's okay, because you don't have to be wrong. All right. But look, here's the word sphere. Chawag. It says circle, circuit, compass, vault of the heavens. I want you to understand this. When it says vault of the heavens, you already heard that when you read about the definition of earth, because it was the same word for earth and the sky. The atmosphere, the ozone layer, is the firmament. It's all in sync. It's all one. Now watch this. Remember earlier we scrolled down and we read the elder's word, Jasinius. We're going to do the same thing. So let's start from the top. Chawag. This is the word chawag. Here's the root word etymology in Hebrew. The root word etymology is what? To encircle. You see that? To encircle, encompass, describe a circle, draw around, make a circle, to encircle, to encompass. It's the word chawag. The root word etymology, Hebrew, right here. Let's look. To describe a circle, to draw a circle, as with compasses. Is that a half a sphere? No, that's a whole sphere. Is that a hemisphere? No, that's a whole sphere. We're going to look at hemisphere also. All right. To go in circle, to a circle, kindred roots with gaga, chag. All right. And I don't know what that word is just yet. So keep that in mind. To encircle. Now watch this. Chawag, same word, but that was the root word etymology. All right. Look at this. It is he that sitteth upon the chawag, circle, sphere, used of the arch or vault of the sky. It's important for you to know what that phrase is too. The arch or the vault of the sky. Now let's go back to this imagery. This is more accurate when you're talking about the celestial sphere. When you're talking about the arch or the vault of the sky, the hemisphere, the atmosphere, that's this entire globe that's going around our earth. That's the atmosphere, the firmament. All right. I'm not afraid to say it because I've read it. And guess what? We got it pulled up for you. All right. Before we go any forward with our scriptures, let's just pull up a few things. Okay. I think a lot of Israelites forgot about these two names, Boaz and Jachin. Boaz and Jachin are the two pillars that's outside of King Solomon's temple. In the book, I believe, of First Kings, King Solomon had Hiram, the master builder, to come to his own personal house, King Solomon's house. Now remember, King Solomon was the wisest and most wealthiest man in the world, even wiser and wealthier than Mansa Musa. Malak Shalamah was that man. He was that guy, my guy. So the point of saying that is to say everything Malak Shalamah did, he understood. He understood the rotations and the circuits of the stars in the heavens, and not once did he allude to us that they were flat. Not once. He used revolving words, and we can find that in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7. But what I want to point everybody's attention to is that King Solomon's pillars that stood outside of his temple are known not only through the Israelite community, but also throughout the world. And they had two very specific things on top of them. Guess what these two things are called? They're called chapiters. I just want everybody to see. Now, don't get caught up on the Masonic imagery. The Masonic temple organization used so many things from the scriptures. So many, I mean, just, and I'm not, listen, understand this, Israel. We are the original Masons. The Hebrews, the Yashar you are the original Masons. You have speculative and operative. Operative, we put in that work. Speculative, you watch. We were the operative because we actually built the pyramids. We actually built Egypt. We actually built America. We built the White House in slavery. Slaves building White House. The scripture says a faithless generation desireth after a sign. Slave labor and the long history of the White House. The White House was, in fact, built by slaves. You thought when they said make America great again, who you think built the White House? What did the Most High say? He said, "Ye shall build a house, and ye shall not live therein. Ye shall not dwell therein." It still ain't been a Hebrew Israelite. What's his name? Jesse Johnson Jackson, something way back. They fired that Negro like in 6 months. Obama, he ain't Yasharala. He's Hamite. He's a Canaanite. The reason of saying this is to say a faithless generation desireth after a sign. Yes, the White House was built in slavery. Let's get back to this, man. We are the original Masons. We are the original master builders. And Flavius Josephus, when we built the temple again after we were kicked out, and I just want everybody, while you're looking at this picture, I hope everybody sees that there's a picture of a sun, of Earth right here, and there's a picture of I think that's the sun or the moon. I don't know which one. I have to go back and check my teachings, my records. But in the Masonic teachings, you will see Jacob and Boaz temple. But we are the original builders. We are the master masons. We are the ones who built Egypt. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. So all you have to do is go back and look at biblical history. You see this? This is a chapter. This is what King Solomon had at the top of the base, at the top of his temples. Why did King Solomon have a representation of a spherical planet ball Earth? Stop playing, Yasharala. So somebody lied to you. And it wasn't me, but I'm not mad about it. We all learning together. So don't be mad at me. Don't trip off of how I'm saying it. Just trip off what I'm saying is true or not. And then watch, they about to start saying that in a little bit. They're gonna be like, watch. Trendsetter. The trendsetter baby is who I be. Trendsetter. Let's get back to our studies. All right. So check this out. The earth is not flat. Okay. Let's get back to this. Here's the word Chawag in the book of Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. When it says, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth." And I know, I love you, Bruce. I know. They showed me images too. But then my Zaquanian was like, the majority of our problems can be resolved if we just go back and read in my language. Zaquan Karat Za'ala, that was Zaquan Padazah that told me that. But Zaquan Karat Za'ala, he went even further. He sat down and just, well, if you look at this right here, what you can see is so this is a celestial sphere. Okay. This image right here is let's see. Here's some images, the difference between a circle and a sphere. Okay. Circle, sphere, one flat, one circular. All right. And then we have this image right here, this page. I don't know who all believes in Pangu, but I don't. I don't believe that the earth is flat. I don't believe that it's a square within a circle and it's deep. I don't believe that. Listen, and then somebody, well, it ain't about what you believe, it's about what you know. Listen, I know that the Bible says the planet is a sphere, and that's not where it stops at. That's not where it stops at. Let's continue to read on outside from that. Now, I know I hit you in the head a whole bunch with this. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, but I have to say it so much because somebody has to learn it. So the word circle again is chawag. The word chawag, it means sphere. Now, we've seen the difference between circles and spheres, so we're not going to go back to those, but I am going to pull up some other images, all right, because we got to. So right here we have sphere, right? I hope everybody can see this page. All right, sphere, a Latinized spelling attested beginning mid 15th centuries of mid English sphere, or what? Cosmos. And you notice how cosmos is spelled right here? Please do not let anybody confuse the so-called OASP with the Bible. It is, there's so much trash because the book is a witchcraft book, and the word cosmos is used in it, but it's just, it's a total different, you know, it's the bizarro version of the Bible. That's what the OASP is. Y'all know how Superman had a bizarro version of him. Me, Superman, I run backwards. Looking at, so you know, that's what the OASP is. It's the bizarro version of the Bible. It's a Harry Potter Bible. So it talks about the cosmos, but you want to get your understanding from Hebrew, which is the language the Bible was written in. Don't let nobody Jedi mind trick you. Don't let nobody make you think you can't believe what you read. Okay, the Bible is true, and every other book is, you know, is an offshoot of it. You know, saying no offense to any other, like so the Quran, it has its own purpose, but the scripture, the Quran tells you go and read the Bible. The Bible don't tell you go read the Quran. Okay, flat out. So let's look at this word sphere. All right, space, conceived as a hollow globe about the world. Now watch this. A hollow globe about the world. So we would consider that. Just use your imagination. That sounds like the atmosphere. All right. That sounds like what we call a firmament. All right. All right. From Anglo-French, esphère, Old French, esphère, 13th century, modern French, sphère, Latin, spheria, globe, ball, celestial sphere. Come on, y'all. Come on. There's no way around it. No pun intended. Aha! That was good. Bars. Let's get it. Medieval Latin sphere, from Latin spheria, globe, ball, playing ball, terrestrial globe. Now, when you think about terrestrial globe, now what you're hearing is you're hearing astronomical phrases. And that's something that we got to be familiar with too. Let's get this real quick. All right, we're going to just take this one word, terrestrial ball. All right, and we're going to come back to this. Terrestrial ball, a word of unknown origin. According to Beeks, there are no certain congruents outside of but the Greek word also has been borrowed into Syrian, Espanol, Ethiopian, Spare, I don't know, Armenian, Spare, and then non-Indo-European, which is Spero. All right. Let's see if we have anything more on that. I think everybody pretty much got the concept. Everything is sphere, 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 right? In reference to any of the supposed concentric, transparent, hollow, crystalline globes of the cosmos. So let me ask you a question. If you have all of this information and then you can come and see, then people will say you can't believe NASA because the word NASA means deceive. And that's just not true. The word NASA in Hebrew is not deceive. Somebody didn't teach you how to read Hebrew correctly, but it's never too late. Like Brother Malachi said about me, you just a Negro that speak Hebrew fast. That's all you is. Well, okay. All right. Most High's giving comprehension with all you're get understanding. I'm grateful. And I pray that Yahweh will give you all understanding too. If you read it, you have to go by what it says. You can't make up your own thing. When you think of the word celestial sphere, when you think of the word terrestrial sphere, you have to be able to say, well, that means this. These are things that our teachers, our children should be able to know. So we just put in the word terrestrial sphere, and look what came up. Globe, globe, globe. See, the problem is that when I go through these books, I don't see a flat earth. And we're going to look at a few examples too. Hold on, let me see. You can always look up astronomy terminology. All right, so that's something that you can always do. Look up astronomy terminology. But as you see, celestial sphere, terrestrial sphere, boom, it all comes back to the same what? The same word, chawak, which is circle or sphere, based on an arch or vault in the sky. Okay, listen. It's not that I'm trying to convince you so that I can say that I'm right. I'm trying to convince you so you can learn how to be more obedient to Yahweh. So we all can learn how to be more obedient to Yahweh. I'm trying to convince you because right is right and wrong is wrong. Somebody out there is holding on to a lie, and you got to let the lie go. All right. So Isaiah chapter 40, once again, verse 22. It is he. Let's go to it in English. All right. And I pray everybody can see this. Let me just make sure. And if you're watching, share out. Baba Kushah, please. All right. Let other people hear. All right. It is he that sitteth upon the Chawag, the celestial sphere, the circle in English, but in Hebrew, as we know, Chawag of the earth. Right. Now let's just do a few other things. All right. Real quick. We're going to go to this book. Now, this book is called Antiquities of the Jews. Flavius Josephus. All right. Now let me see if I can get it lined up to where everybody can see it good. All right, let me reset. Part of it is because I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? My vision is funny now. You know. So on my end of the screen, these letters is like this big. Like just this, like this right here. This right here is the word that. T on my screen is these letters is this big. All right. So bear with me, everybody. All right. So I'm gonna try to get it adjusted to where you all can see it. Now, what we're about to read or look at is, you know what? Actually, I need somebody that can help reset my settings. I don't know how to do it, and I don't mind asking for help, man. People act like you a man, you supposed to know. I don't know how to do it. All right, I need help. Let me see if we can get this right. Golly, that still ain't right, man. Pickle sticks and lollipops, man. I want y'all to be able to see this so bad. All right, so I'm gonna have to read it, and let's hit this reset button. And I don't know how to change my settings on my screen, and everything is just big. But when I do screen share, y'all can't see it, so I apologize. But I'm gonna read this. Now this is, you know what? How about this? I have a better idea. How about I copy paste it, and then you all can see what I'm reading. Booyah. All right, so check this out. Holies, size, lower part, temple, great, many of them, stories high, also entrances on each side. Hold on, everybody, I'm getting it for you. Narrower body, okay, we can go back up. Okay, we don't need all that yet. We don't need all that just yet. Okay. All right. Representation of the menorah, right? This is the representation of the menorah. So let's copy this, take this, and I apologize for the eyesore. This page is not in order, so I apologize about that. Let's come to something a little more visually comfortable. Okay, this is a little more visually comfortable. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna put this in here. Now, what we're gonna get is information from what's called Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews. This is a book that was written by a Hebrew Negro, which today would be considered a Haitian. Now, I believe that stance. I'm not going to go into the doctrine, the whatnots and the whys and all that stuff, but I do believe so. Now, the point of saying such is to say what Flavius Josephus did was he made sure he wrote down the history or the antiquity of the Negroes, the African Americans, so-called Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, sold into slavery captivity, right? All right. So if I can get this, oh man, I gotta upgrade to make that happen. That's so whack. I gotta upgrade. I'm not about to do it. I gotta upgrade if I want to use a certain feature, man. That's whack. We're gonna use what we can. Okay. There we go. So you should be able to see this on your screen. So it says, now these 7 lamps signify the 7 planets. If you don't know what we're talking about, let me show you. Menorah diagram according to the Bible antiquity. Booyah. Okay, now I hope everybody can see this. All right. Now we're going to try to zoom in. Now you should know about the menorah. Everybody in Yashar Allah that reps the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I ain't talking about the old aspect. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And if anybody try to tell you that it's the same, it is not. The old aspect got a whole different fake God. It got a vegan Jesus. You got a vegan Jesus? A squeamish vegan Jesus? Ew, I don't like blood. No. So don't go with the old aspect. It's the satanic book. I'm not talking about that. In the Bible, you will learn about this beautiful symbol. This symbol is called the menorah. It was made by a black man named Batza Allah. This candlestick, it had 7 branches and it stood over 6 feet tall. But watch this. At the top of each one of these branches, let's use this specific example right here. All right. Let me see if I can scoot this over. And I'm so apologetic, everybody. It's because I can barely see now. So I got to do vision stuff. It's weird, man. Put your glasses on. If I wear my glasses, that still doesn't help my settings on my laptop that I already preset. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, yeah. So here's the point right here. The menorah has 7 branches. And on top of each one of these 7 branches, look, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not 8, not 9. Only 7 according to Yahweh's instructions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and 1 straight down the middle. If you ever want to teach your children how to draw a menorah, you can do this as a game. Make a small letter U, then make another small letter U, then make another small letter U, and then just put a straight L down the middle. Just make zoop, 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 bop, and just sit there and do that all day. And you'll learn how to play around with the menorah. You'll be like, boop, 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 boop. And I love the menorah on my garments. I love the menorah. I love Yahweh's menorah. It's the symbol of wisdom. It's the symbol of Yahweh Shai. But also we find out that this biblical emblem, this biblical representation is also documented in these writings. Now watch this. Now the 7 lamps were signified, the 7 lamps signified the 7 planets. For so many there were springing out of the what? Out of the candlestick. You can't make this stuff up. This is beautiful. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me that Moses knew astronomy? He did. Now, these 7 candles, these 7 lamps signified the 7 planets. For so many there were springing out of the candlestick. Now, the 12 loaves that were upon the table signified the what? The zodiac of the year. But the altar of incense, by its 13 kinds of sweet-smelling spices with which the sea replenished it, signified that Allahaya, God, is the possessor of all things that are both uninhabitable and habitable parts of what? Of Ha'aratazah, of the earth. So watch this. Flavius Josephus teaches us not only the zodiac is mentioned right here in the Bible, right here in his antiquities, but also we can find the zodiac in the book of Job, Pleiades. Who would have thought? We didn't even know that this was here. But it is. So for our whole lifetime growing up, we're always going to find that there's more, that there's a little bit that I just didn't know. I wasn't familiar with that. Oops. Somebody told me that the earth was flat. Then here go brother Crumworm. He comes along and say the earth is a sphere. Don't show me no pictures. Don't clickbait me to death. Don't do that to me. If you're not going to show me out of Sapardium, show me out of books, show me out of astronomy, I'm not interested. KJV VLB. Now let's watch this real quick. Everybody come over here with me. We're in the book of Job, okay? We're going to go to the book of Job, chapter 38, and we're going to go to the book verse 31. Book of Job, chapter 38, and let's scroll all the way down to 31. I just want to show you this while I have your attention, because pretty soon, a lot of y'all are old. A lot of young Israelites ain't watching. So all of you old Israelites that got to go to work, that's like halfway asleep, that really want to go do something, I got to get y'all attention real quick, because I know some of y'all got to go take bird baths, and some of y'all just got to go straight in the bed. I get it, I know. But let's watch this real quick. All right. Let's go to verse 31. Did you know that this was in your Bible? Let me see. I hope y'all can see this. Let's take this down. I hope y'all can see this, and then let's make this larger, because you don't need my big head on the screen. Job chapter 38, verse 31. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Canst thou bring forth Mazaraf in his season? Canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? Knowest thou the ordinance of heaven? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the Aratzah. That's pretty fire. Do you understand what you just read? See, I'm not gonna do you like the OASP will do you. I'm not about to I'm not about to lie and teach a whole bunch of Tom Dumb foolery. I'm gonna teach you exactly what you just seen. What you just seen was basic astronomy in the Bible 101. I'm gonna put these verses here so you all will be able to highlight them for yourself. You just got a whole astronomy lesson from one verse from Yahweh. One verse from Yahweh, not me, but from Yahweh writing the Bible. Now watch this. Here's your verses. Okay. So go back and click on it whenever you're ready. Okay. Go back and click on it whenever you're ready. Now let's look at this first. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pallades? What is Pallades? That's the first thing that we're going to do. We're going to look up Pallades, and it's going to be very nice to see. Watch this. Booyah. Did you know this? Did you know that the constellation of Pallades is right there in the Bible? But hold on. It gets deeper. It gets much deeper. This is beautiful. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pallades? And it's right here in the Bible. Now, for Pallades, we're going to go to the Ibadiyaf and we're going to see the word Kayamah. Kayamah. Look at this. Kayamah, Pallades, a constellation of 7 stars. Why is this in the scriptures? Why is it important? Why don't Yasha Allah know it? Why do we think the earth is flat? Why do we think that we can't trust our elders enough to go back and research what they said? Don't clickbait me to death. Don't do it. Because all we're going to do as the children of Israel is we're going to go and we're going to research what is Pallades. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. And I'm not going to hold you up. I want to show you everything. The swift influences of Pallades, or loose the bands of, look at this, of Orion. Everybody knows Orion. Everybody knows don't you know the constellation of Orion? If you go outside on a very nice night and it's a clear sky and it's a beautiful, warm environment, and you look up and you're like, oh, look at all those stars, look at all the sky. And then you look and you see these 3 stars and they're lined up in a row like this. You've known the constellation of Orion since you was a child and didn't know it was right here in your Bible. Basic Hebrew Astronomy 101. Kasyal. Kasyal. Who is Kasyal? Constellation Orion, the constellation general. Who is Kasyal? Now, I started studying this from the scriptures, and I gotta say it, a brother called me a diviner of times. I'm like, sir, how am I remember that day, man, my heart dropped, man, my heart broke, because he thought he was rebuking me. And I was just thinking, like, bro, you don't know so much, man. And he was like, you a diviner at times. You're being a diviner at times. I guess King Saul. I'm no greater than King. I am no greater. If you want to call me diviner at times, I'm gonna read the Bible to you. Kasayal. Often with the additional idea of impiety compared to synonymous. All right, the name of constellation, a star constellation mentioned about in the book of Job, here again, the book of Amos. According to many of ancient translators, Orion, which the Orientals call, I don't know how to say that, it says the giant. All right, they seem to have looked on this constellation as a figure of impious giant bound to the sky. Hence, Job, canst thou loose the bands of Orion? All right, we must not interpret the scriptures as though it contents, foolish superstition. All right. Here's another Hebrew translator, an Arabic translator, also a lexicon translator. Walet understands it to be this word, which is in Hebrew, canopus, or the bright star, the helm of a southern ship. Now, this is what we're going to do since we've seen the word right there and everybody's known what it is. We're just going to highlight this. I'm going to come over here to our handy dandy search window, and we're going to put in Orion. Now, when you put in Orion, look what you got. Everybody knows this imagery. Everybody knows this imagery. Okay. Can you see Orion? Can you see the constellations? So this is basic Hebrew astronomy 101, not even going into Genesis chapter 1. Okay. Not even going into Genesis chapter 1. We're going to start to close down some of these windows. We're not going to close down our lesson yet. All right. We're going to close down a couple of these windows. All right. So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 40. All right. And everybody should see that. It is he that sitteth upon the what? The Chawag. Now, you can call it a circle if you want to, because it's truly, you know, spherical, which a circle and a sphere, they're both spherical. See, a tire, circle shape, about a soccer ball is a sphere. Now, absolutely not trying to beat a dead horse at all, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in animal cruelty. We see that the word orb is the word that's used in the celestial bodies. We see that these shapes are the shapes of orbs. All right. There's again, no pun intended. There's no way around it. Now let's look at this real quick. We're gonna look at the word hemisphere. Okay. Now, hemisphere is what the majority of people look at when they see the flat Earth images. All right. And you see this. This is called a hemisphere. This is half of a sphere. Okay. If everybody can see that. All right. Let's get back to this real quick. Basic Hebrew astronomy 101. Hemisphere. All right. Hemisphere, hemispheric, in reference to the celestial sphere. All right. In reference, and we already went through celestial sphere from Latin, late Latin, hemispherium, from Greek. I'm not even going to try that tonight. I'll be up in my middle. I'll be in my bed. I'll be like, hemispherium. I'll still be trying to pronounce it in my sleep. Hemispherium. Hemispherium. I ain't going to try it. All right. From hemi, listen, everybody. Now, here's our kicker. Hemi means half. Hemi, half. Spheria is sphere. So, in turn, the word hemisphere means what? It means half of a sphere. This is what we're looking at. I want you all to rebuke this foolery. This is what you're thinking about when you see a hemisphere. This is a good one. I like this one. This is a good one. I like this one. This one over here on the left. All right, this one over here on the left. I like this one because you see how stupid this is. And I don't mind saying this is stupid. This is very stupid because it has the moon way out here. Can you all see that? Let me show y'all this. It has the moon way out here. Okay? And the moon, what lunar phase is that? Is that even a lunar phase? What is that? Excessive waning crescent? What phase is that? Aren't we supposed to be going to waning gibbous? Or it's not even a phase. And see, that's what hurts. The scripture says with increased wisdom comes increased sorrow, you know, and I'm not in pain because of that bad, but to look at this and know that ain't even then you have the sun over here, and then you got this. Do you know how out of order that is? Let me show you all something real quick. Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 24. 40 deuce. Look at this, man. You can't make this stuff up. Here, let's go. My bad. I didn't mean to do that. I mean that. All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 24. Now, the Most High is so sweet that he even made the verse double. Ecclesiasticus chapter 42 and verse 24. Right? And I apologize if you all can't see everything, but I will copy and paste so you all can be able to read it. All right. It's just my screen settings. All right. So check this out. let's go back to this, man. I love you, how I show my shaka house, y'all. Everybody can see that image. Look at what this verse says. I'm gonna put the verse up in here, and I'll put it on the screen so you all will be able to see it. This picture is completely out of order, which is again the reason why I can't do the OASP, because it's out of order. It's not in sync. It's not in sync. How is it that the moon is way over here? It's not even a correct lunar phase shape. That's not even waning gibbous. That's not waxing gibbous. That's not waxing crest. That's not even accurate. The sun is way over here, and then you have a flat surface hemisphere. You got a sphere, and a hemisphere. Come on, y'all. Y'all know one of these shapes don't fit. One of these things don't belong. One of these things don't fit in. One of these things don't belong. Now, what's the point of saying that? The point of saying that is to say this. The scriptures tell us right here. It is he that I'm not. It is he. I'm just repeating it so much. My bad. I ain't out to poke my big head in there. The scripture says what? Everybody can see that? Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Everybody can see that. There we go. All things exist in parts, one opposite against the other. He has made nothing, he made nothing that was incomplete. Each thing strengthens the good parts of the other. And who can get enough of seeing God's glory? That is not what I would have preferred to read. I would have so much. Let's do that in a. Oh my goodness, all these there we go. This is what we need. Okay. There we go. All things are doubled one against another, and he has made nothing unperfect. That's what we want. We got to read it in a better translation, in an old translation. So the Most High says he has made all things doubled and has set one against another. He has made nothing unperfect. And that's what we're looking at whenever we say an example for King Solomon's temple. With King Solomon's temple, and he had two pillars outside of the temple, and one pillar represented the the earth, and one pillar represented the moon. You can't make this stuff up. It's astronomy everywhere. It's everywhere. All right. But let's go back to this. All right. So I think we're done with it is he that sitteth upon the chawag, the sphere of the earth. I know that some people, they may have had enough of that, and it was like, okay, well, I learned it, and I'm going to move on now. Okay. So hopefully. We also learned that in Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, that the menorah is a representation of the celestial spheres of the planets. And all of these planets are the same shape. Okay. Now let's look at, that's a lot of good information. If you ever get ready, I want you all to look up the pillars of King Solomon's temple. Okay. The pillars of King Solomon's temple is Jachin and Boaz. Looking these two up will help you to understand the shape of the spheres on top of King Solomon's temple. All right. And yes, you're going to see some Masonic information. All right. Okay. In either case, they came to a combination of sun metal being copper and the moon metal being either zinc. The mixture of the sun and the moon express harmony and balance passing through these pillars. Okay, cool. I'll let you all study that for yourselves. And this is how we come up with understanding the images of King Solomon's temple. But not only that, you can read about King Solomon's temple in what? Flavius Josephus. And what did they have on them? They had a representation of the earth. Now, I believe that this is the moon, all right, because it's actually got the zodiac going around it. But the temple, and it's not just about the Masonic information, it's about the Masonic organization knowing how to use the Bible, to be able to convey their message, all right, of working to make good men better, all right. Now let's look at this last one right here, all right. This is the Book of Kings, okay. So we're in the book of First Kings, chapter 7 and verse 16. First Kings, chapter 7, verse 16. All right. And we're going to close this window down. And it says what? Verse 16. He made 2 chapiters of molten brass and set upon the tops of the pillars of the heights of one chapiter was 5 cubits, and the heights of the other chapiter was 5 cubits, and the net and the checker work and reeves of chain of work for the chapiters which were upon the top of the pillars were 7 for one chapiter and 7 for the other chapiter. And he made the pillars of 2 rows round about upon the one network to cover the chapiters. They were upon the top with pomegranates. That's another thing that's spherical, right? And so did he with the other chapiter. And the chapiters that were upon the top of the pillars were of lily work in the porch, 4 cubits. And the chapiters upon the 2 pillars had pomegranates also above over the chapiter. The belly, which was by the network, and the pomegranates were 200 in rows round about upon the other chapiter. So I encourage you, please, Yasharallah. I mean, we showed the images. I don't know how to, I do know how. I can keep reading it. I can keep showing you that the world knows, but I don't know how to convince you to believe for yourself. So let's do one more, and then we're going to end this video off. Matter of fact, that would have been a good place that ended it off. That would have been a good place where he's like, yeah, yo, all right, that would have been really good. All right, I think I'm going to save this. I'll save this up because I do want to come back to hemisphere. Okay, we have to learn what a hemisphere is visually also, because you have to learn that a hemisphere is only half of a sphere, which, you know, here you go. That's what a hemisphere is. Yeah, hemisphere this way, half of a sphere that way. It's not hard, family. It's not hard. Now, there are certain brothers and sisters that I am trying to reach with this. And I'm not doing this for my own because I don't got nothing to talk about. I'm doing it because it came up, and it keeps coming up. All right. So with that being said, you know, we have to learn what the scriptures actually say. All right. So a hemisphere is connected to an actual sphere, and I hope that these visuals are helping people. This does not make sense, even though it's really cool to look at. All right. This is not what the Bible says. So if you continue to go with that, if you continue to go with this, if you continue to go with this, if you continue to go with this, then you are a liar. You're a liar. You're a blatant liar. There's no way around it. This is one of my favorite books right here. This is called Encyclopedia Edition the First. This section right here is a section on astronomy specifically. Okay. I want to make sure everybody can see this because this is such a beautiful jewel of a book. Okay. And I'll save this for later because this is one that we're going to do a lot of reading in. And I'll praise the Most High. Our family owns this book, man. And this book is beautiful. And these are called plates. Okay. Look at this. What do you think this is? This is the celestial sphere of the sun. This is the celestial sphere of the moon. And this is the celestial sphere of the earth. Now, this isn't like the Oaspi, which is a witchcraft sorcery book full of gore garble and things that you can't prove. This is astronomy. I was about to say astrology. I don't want to mess. This is astronomy. This is real math. Look at this. And look how you can zoom in on this website. You're not going to miss no information. Look at the writing. Look at this. Look at this. What do y'all think this says? The FRFT FATELLITES. What do you think that says? That's right. The first satellites. Look at this. Every FEVENTH. What do you think that spelled? That's right. Every seventh. FEC every second. Because this is an old school book. See, this is an old school book. This is old school information. This is what you want to learn. This is what you want to look at. Are you a mathematician? Are you good at math? Well, guess what? I'm not good at math all like that. I don't even think I am at all. But here's a table showing the precession of the equinoctial points in the heavens, both in motion and time, and the anticipation of the equinoxes on Earth. Days, hours, minutes, seconds, motions. Come on, man. Y'all smarter than me. Julian years, anticipation of the equinox, This is the book that actually teaches you how to calculate. It's either this one or Excerpt in Josephus. I think it's this one, but it teaches you how to calculate when Yahushua was born. Yeah, it's this book. Yeah, this book teaches you how to calculate when Yahushua was born, his birthday. That's cold because it's an older book. And if somebody think I'm tripping, you think I'm bugging on it, I mean, only thing I can do is prove it to you, show it to you. Look at this: celestial spheres, heavenly bodies. This is science, son. Anybody with a good rational brain can look at this and be like, oh yeah, I can see that. That's a sphere. That makes sense. Okay. So I'm gonna let me see. I'm trying to find a specific page. And I think this is enough for tonight, and then we'll come back to it. I want to deal with the comments, the reviews, the likes, the dislikes. I want to deal with all the communication stuff. I still got to get some tech in. I got to get some Mortal Kombat in. I don't think I fed myself. Yeah, I fed myself. All right. So, but we're going to end this video up real quick. Now, this is called an artillery spear. All right. And everybody, I'm not saying everybody should have one of these, but I own one. I own one for my own fun and understanding. Artillery spear. Okay. Now you might have seen one of these. It's to help you understand the diagram of how the sun and the earth and the moon all moves together in conjunction. Okay. Now, before we leave, I'm going to leave this page up, but I'm going to come back and read this to you. Matter why? Here, let me show you. Let me show you. I'm going to read this to you. All right. Hold on. To all my Hebrew flat earth lights. Let's see if I can fix this real quick. This book right here is called Pliny the Elder. Pliny the Elder Ecclesiastical Histories. Okay. And it looks like it's just a little red book. It's written in half Latin and half English. I'm having the worst camera setup ever. But the point of me bringing this book out is because I want to show you something. Learning is very fun and it's very easy. And if y'all heard, I haven't called nobody. I ain't really big into calling people dumb and stupid. So I'll say something is dumb. I'll be like, yo, that's dumb. That's stupid. But I usually don't say to people, you're stupid, you're dumb. I don't do that. I will say that's dumb. Oh, that's the dumbest breakdown ever. But I'm not calling a person dumb. All right. So the point of saying that is to invite other brothers and sisters that are interested in this subject to be able to look at it and learn. Now, let me show you all this right here because I know you're going to enjoy it. Pliny the Elder, Natural Historiae on Astronomy, Shape of the Earth, Globe, Sphere. All right. So we're going to play around right here, and I want everybody to see this page. I'm going to take mine down. Now, why are we doing Pliny the Elder? Because we want to look at real history, all right? We want to look at real antiquities. Who was Pliny the Elder? What year did he write Natural Historiae? All right. Pliny the Elder was a Roman author, naturalist who wrote natural history, known for Historia Naturalis in 77 AD. And this is what I wanted to show everybody. In the year 77 AD, okay? So not TikTok, not Instagram, not emojis and clickbaits, but in the year 77, I said 77. In the year 77 AD, our forefathers knew more information than what we know today. in 77 AD. Remember, the fall of Jerusalem was in 70 AD. So after 7 years, so this man actually seen the fall and the siege of Jerusalem. Pliny the Elder had a nephew named Pliny the Younger. And Pliny the Younger, he helped, I don't remember which emperor it was. He helped one of the emperors extract information out of Israelites to find out how we worship Yahweh. It's beautiful information. So let's look at this real quick. So in the year 77 AD, all right, let's see what happened. Okay. It is considered the first scientific encyclopedia encompassing a wide range of topics like, watch this, zoology, botany, astronomy, geography, across 37 books. Across 37 books. Yo, do you know how much information is in just not, there's 2 volumes of this. And watch this. Y'all can go and buy it for like 30 bucks. 2 volumes, 30 bucks. Thank you to my rib for buying it for me. And I encourage you, daughters. The scripture says in Luke chapter 8, watch this, man. I'm not done. Luke chapter 8, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. And this is an encouragement for you women, man, for you women of Israel. All right. This is an encouragement for you because you might not know, and I need some help with this because y'all see how small my screen is, man. Y'all might not know this, man, but look. I am a man who tells the daughters of Israel to bless, to help, to give in your supplication. But you find out that this word supplication, it means everything. I'll let you deal with that however you want to. If anybody wants the breakdown from me, hit me up. I'll give you the breakdown. It says, and it came to pass afterward that they went throughout every city and village, preaching and showing the glad tidings of the kingdom of Yahweh. And the 12 were with him. The 12 apostles were with Yahushua. And certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, called Mary Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils, and Joanna, the wife of Chuza, Herod's steward, and Susanna, and many others. It just named off a whole bunch of women, and the majority of people miss it. The majority of Israelites. And then the brothers who teach that women can't be teachers. What's wrong with you cats? Our mothers are our first teachers. Proverbs 31, written by King Lemuel's mother, King Solomon's mother. So women can be teachers. They just got to teach in the correct offices. All right. And they are not to usurp authority over man. The point of saying this is, you just heard a beautiful lesson on how many beautiful women there were blessing Yahushua and the men that was with Yahushua. But let's see how they did it. And Joanna, the wife of Chuza, Herod's steward. Now let's take out Herod's steward. Let's just look at this. Joanna, the wife of Chuza. So Joanna was the wife of a man who worked for Herod. This means this woman she was married to a man who had a government job. And Susanna and many others. Now, if you don't remember Susanna's the woman who had the issue of blood. And, you know, it's so funny because, you know, we should know their names. So Susanna, but watch this. And many others, other women, which ministered unto him of their substance. The daughters of Israel, a specific daughter of Yashala, bought this library book for me. And I praise the Most High because it's been used to be able to help this ministry. And it's right there on my library shelf. And today we're going to use that. So that's an encouragement, man. You daughters of Yashala, do what you can. All right. I'm not even going to go into any other talk about any other women, about people who do or who don't do. No catchphrases. If you have it on your mind and on your heart to bless it, to give, then do so, because it really does go to helping our people. By showing my Shakawashai. All right, now check this out. Let's go to this real quick. So the reason why we did this is because we're looking at Pliny's validity. Okay, Pliny's validity. All right. So let's look at some of the topics. Key points about Pliny's view on Earth's shape, spherical shape. Pliny clearly states that the Earth is a sphere, using the term orb and globe to describe its form. Okay. Now, the reason why we did that, just real quick, was just to show everybody, all right, there are no, as far as I have seen, Hebrew historians that have brought out any teachings that say that the Earth is flat. I just haven't seen it. I personally looked for it, and I still haven't seen it because it's not there. So, and the reason why we can say it's not there is because we read it not only in the scriptures, but all we got to do is just take the same word from the scriptures If the scripture says sphere, then the word is sphere. And from there, what you have to do is take the word sphere and you go through all the different places in your lexicon to find out where is the word sphere used at. But not just in the Bible, which is our primary, but we're also going to do it from astronomy. Okay. So the nature of the stars, of the moon, excuse me, of the motion of the planets. All right. Now we are in the book that we were talking about, Pliny the Elder, Natural Historia. Now I'm going to take this, copy it, and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to put it right here. Did not Christ say, freely you receive, freely you shall give? Right? So why do some people act like, why do some people try to act like, they got to harbor hide information? We're not supposed to. Here's the truth. Here's the details. Now you got the link. Look it up for yourself. All right, so we got a comment that came in. So let's see what the homie, that's the big homie Luke. He says NASA says the moon is miles away from that pitch. So yeah, that's that. All right, that's a good one. All right, NASA says the moon is 2,300, 2,300, 8,000. I don't know how to do that number. I apologize. 23,000, right? Whatever. It's far from the yes, yeah. All right, so that's the image is inaccurate. All right, so thank you for that. Spell it out for me next time, brother. Numbers go backwards in my head. I can't help it. I don't even try to stunt. I have a trouble. I have issue with numbers. So so yeah, so the image is incorrect. All right. So here's the link for that, the water for that. All right, I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time. And I keep trying to end the video, but there's just so much information and it's all right here and it's easy and it's fun and it's accessible. All right, chapter 6. Let us return from this digression to other parts of nature. The stars, which are described as fixed in the heavens, are not, as the vulgar suppose, attached each of them to different individuals, the brighter to the rich, those that are less so to the poor, the dim to the aged, shining occurring to the lots of the individual, and separately assigned to mortals, that they have neither come into existence nor do they perish, in connection with particular persons, nor does a falling star indicate anyone is dead. In case you didn't get all that, he's saying we don't think like the heathens think. The heathens think that if you're rich, you got that star. If you're a bright, shining person, that star must be dedicated to you. Oh, a star just fell through the sky. That means somebody just died. Nah. Pliny said, we don't think like that. That's what that first part meant. All right. So from here, he goes into explaining oil in our lamps, proper place, count. I think Yaya has to go outside. All right. So from here, he's still into the stars. All right, he says, the account of the circles of heaven will be better understood when we come to speak of the earth, since they have all the reference to it, except what has been discovered respecting the what? Respecting the zodiac, which I now detail. Basic Astronomy 101. We even seen the word zodiac in the Bible. Did you all see that? We've seen the word zodiac in the Bible. You didn't see that? All right, the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 31. Let's get it. Job, chapter 38, verse 31, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. And here we go. All right, starting at verse 31. Now, I want you all to see this. Now, we looked at this earlier, and I kind of moved forward, so it's my fault as a teacher, as an edifier. I apologize. Job chapter 38, verse 31, it says, canst thou bind the sweet influence of Pleiades? If you watched the video earlier, then we showed that Pleiades is the constellation, right? And then we seen, or loose the, bind the sweet influence of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion. Then we seen the Orion constellation in the heavens. Now watch this. Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season? Now let's go to our handy dandy Hebrew language, And what we're going to find out is that the word Mazarath is more important than what we thought. Didn't even know that this word was here all this time. Now look at this. And Ibadiaf. All right. Mazarath. 42:16. What does the word Mazarath in Hebrew mean? Canst thou what? Mazarath? Mazarath. The 12 signs of the zodiac and their 36 associated constellations. But wait a minute. This isn't written in the OASP. This is in the book of Job in the Bible. So basic Hebrew 101, start with the spirit of wisdom. Start with the spirit of wisdom. Get off of TikTok, get off of Instagram, see what does the Bible say about not only the shape of the earth, but when does actual sun rise? When does sun set? When is the golden hour? When is inferior conjunction? What is syzygy? How do the celestial spheres all line up? And what does it mean? What does it mean? Basic Hebrew 101, constellations. I'm not done, but Yaya really need to go outside, and he's bullying me. That's why I'm over here with it, because he's bullying me. Yaya, you want to say shalom? You want to say shalom? You want to say shalom? Okay, you can't get up here. Okay. So anywho, so for those of you who just learned this, which is beautiful, here's the word, here's the phrase. Yes, zodiac is in the Bible. It is the word Mazarah. All right. And this is what we find out when we see Pliny the Elder, all right, a very, very wise elder who wrote an encyclopedia of everything. All right. So he gives us the reference of the zodiac also. All right. So I'm gonna yield the floor right here because it's just so much, man. And it's not so much like in a bad way. We just read this in Job. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna come back with a strategy, and we're gonna read more. I love this, man. All right. I love this because it's easy and it's right here in front of us. And then once you see other historians or you see other scriptures, it's like, how could you not want to know more? Or like, how could you not want to be like, oh, you know what? That's interesting. I want to see what else. Like, how not? How not? So anyway, I'm gonna yield the floor. All right. Um, let's do this last part. All right, I hope this was a help to somebody. Now, this is going to talk about the inferior conjunction, okay? And if you don't know what inferior conjunction is, let me show it to you real quick. All right. Astronomical etymology, inferior conjunction. Inferior conjunction is also known as a phase that's called syzygy, okay? All right. So syzygy is when it's new moon. This is when the earth, moon, and sun are all lined up. That's when new moon is. It's not when the moon is at its highest, at its brightest. That's full moon. The opposite of full moon is inferior conjunction. In astronomy, inferior conjunction refers to the moment when the planet, specifically an inferior planet like Mercury, Venus, appears to be directly between the earth and the sun, especially passing below the sun from our perspective. Hence the term inferior, indicating a position closer to the sun than earth. Conjunction simply means that the planets are aligned in a straight line from our viewpoint. All right. So this is let's get an image of inferior conjunction, what inferior conjunction can look like. Now we actually suffer through, which isn't a bad thing, but we actually go through inferior conjunction once a month. All right. And that once a month is called new moon. Okay. All right. So I'm going to yield the floor on this right here. But when we come back, if anybody wants to know more or interested more, we're going to be reading not only from Pliny the Elder. I'm going to shut down a lot of these windows. All right. I'm going to shut down a lot of these windows. So, but while we're learning this real quick, so syzygy is new moon. Okay. And new moon is what's called the time appointed in the book of Psalms, chapter 81. When the scripture says, blow the trumpet in the new moon and the time appointed, a lot of people go down to the word new moon, but they don't go to this word right here, appointed. All right. And the word appointed is kasa or kasa'ah. And if I'm going too fast, please forgive me. All right. I apologize. So right here, here's the word kasa or kasa'ah for appointed. It says the etymology is not clear to me, for it is not satisfactory to say that it is so called from the whole moon, from the whole moon being then covered with light. So even right here, he says that new moon is not full moon. He says verbs of covering are often applied in the sense of hiding and covering over, but never, as far as I know, to that of giving light. So Elder Nathan Yala, also known as Elder Gad, from Israel United in Christ, and any other Israelite school that teaches waxing crescent or that teaches full moon, they're incorrect. You're incorrect. According to the biblical definition and according to the antiquitous writers, full moon is the bright moon. Inferior conjunction is the one that's known to never give light, all right, which is also called syzygy. Man, I want to, you know what? I think it's just, man, lunar phase syzygy astronomy. All right, so let's go to this one now, and I hope everybody can see this. I think this will be the last one for now. I keep saying that. All right, so in astronomy, syzygy is when the Earth, Moon, and Sun are aligned. It occurs during new and full moons. So let's look at this real quick. So whenever you have the Earth, Moon, and Sun all lined up, okay, you're going to have, again, conjunction. Now, another thing about a new moon is it's also called the blind moon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, when I say et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because it has other names. It has new moon. It has the blind moon. It's called the silent moon. It's called syzygy. It's called inferior conjunction. It's called, oh, I forget it in Japanese right now. But each language has a name for the lunar phases. And new moon is not waxing crescent, just like the Earth is not flat. So this is easy. This is fun. I pray everybody had a good time. All right. So I'm gonna say Ya Barak Kum Yahoah Bahasham Hamashiach Yahushai. We had a good time, and if anybody needs me, man, hit me up, man. We went through a lot of support and we went through a lot of information. And this is gonna be another. We're gonna say this for tomorrow too. Okay. If anybody want to get a head start on me, I definitely don't mind. Here you go. This is the book. It's called Isidore of Seville's Etymologies. Okay. So I had a sister, man, on Facebook cuss me out something so vicious, man. Because, I mean, I'm talking about the earth not being flat and the daughters of Israel going off and a few other things, man. And, you know, and another brother, you know, he wanted to tell me on everything I was wrong about. Okay, well, if you're going to tell me everything I'm wrong about, then now let's bring forward our books and prove our information. And this is where my elders was always left in the background, because nobody really wanted to do, you know, that part of proving and changing. If you all remember the Mashrah Yasha'Allah, if you all remember the Hebrew Israelite summits, a part of what the mission was to bring everybody together to also discuss doctrinal differences, doctrinal issues, to discuss issues that Yasha'Allah have together, but are not getting, you know, worked out because people aren't coming together to actually bring these books and say I'm wrong and I'm right. You know what? Dang, I thought I was right about that. I was wrong. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. So with that being said, I hope that this helps somebody. I think it was long enough for me. Check out Shy. Kwame Asharala. All right. I hope I didn't become anybody's enemy. All right. Like the scripture says, you know, I tell you the truth, therefore I am become your enemy. Yeah. All right. So we're going to yield the floor on that, man. That was fun. All right. And I'm going to end it with my song, man. This is my song. I like this song, man. This is my Lil Jones, man. Tell me what y'all think. Y'all like the song. I like the song. From that scholar. Nah, we got never had a friend like me. You know, if it happen, if it don't, it don't. You know, ain't no big deal. You ain't never had a friend like me. Need that. You ain't never had a friend like me. Nah, man, it's the Shabbat. Cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Come on, believe that. I see you when you do it wrong, I tell you cause I love you. Guam, Yasha'Allah, NYMG praying for you. Taking pictures with the Akim, double honors to the elders. Saluting all the short legs, Shalom, baby bruise, Ziggy hooves, all of you the
come and join this unity. If you ain't about that Zephaniah 2, then you ain't true to me. I kiss the beards of my brothers, let them know I love them. Combat ready, men of war, knocking at your front door. Esau, I love to be the bearer of your bad news. E37, AOIRI, real Jews. Coming to a place to gather where all matters are discussed. Cause in the law of love, there is no sin in us. And if it is, you can charge me for keeping the Torah. Boy, oh boy, I tell you, I straight go to war for you. Leviticus 19, the scripture that I stand on. No tail bearing, baby brute, take your ass home. If you can't handle instructions, then this ain't for you. It's a nation organized by Hamashiach. See, one shot is all they got. One shot is all we need to proceed in brotherhood and conquer them as Jacob sees. The rightful owners of the whole planet coming together at every summit, forming like Voltron from every corner of Babylon and locked in like Optimus Prime. Don't pay me no attention, I'm just celebrating my youth in this rhyme. To see that Edom's fall as Jacob's rise, it's so exciting when you left from the summit. That's number 99 years ago. I couldn't even fathom this happening. Now my hands is hella callous from dapping. Shalom, may Yahweh keep you safe on your passage and place all your enemies in caskets. Kwam Yasha, Allah got a lot of blessings in store. All you gotta do is keep the Torah, go forward. How can I be blamed? I was born under curses, Deuteronomy 28:68, slave trade. Labeled special ed, completely incapable of conforming sentences, but can bring the scriptures to remembrance. See my brother's ass in the ditch and I'm jumping out. Kwam Yasharala, we moving your car now. Cause the enemy be looking for the sheep to devour. And like our USPK, we ain't got no room for cowards. So if that cracker come up pulling up his thump or the bang, I'ma encourage you to do the same, but ain't for his brain. See, we gotta be the crime stoppers. These coppers coming to pop us. They dropping our bodies off like revelations that taught us. Double honors to the house of tone. Live in peace, tat tat. Second resurrection, banging with you in Jehoshaphat. Face shining like my shot after 40 days. You'd have seen the face of the Savior, so I give praise. Hey, I'ma be grateful to meet your holy
Hey, I'm gonna be grateful to meet you, Shalom, to Kansas City's best street teacher, Yada Daya. All right, so that was it for this lesson, for this class, for this time frame. For now, I appreciate it. Was a lot of information that was brought out, and I think one of the most fun parts is the Most High's will. Tomorrow we'll do. We learned about zodiacs. We learned about a lot. So the Most High's will. We'll have fun tomorrow too. All right, Shalom.